Listen to me. Nothing in you is broken. The storm is loud, yes, but the self in you is quiet and bright. Stay with me. In the next minutes, I will give you two truths that do not crack. We will use them today, not someday. In this video, I'm going to sit with you in the hard place and put two clear truths in your hand. First, I'll help you feel the part of you that the storm can't touch. Second, I'll show you how to turn pain into power with one small, clean action. You won't need a perfect mood. You won't need a quiet room. Before we finish, you'll have three tiny tools you can use in 1 minute when life hits, so you can breathe, choose, and move. Before we continue, please subscribe and leave a quick comment, even one word. This small action helps the algorithm show this video to more people and tells me these deep dives are worth making. You were told time heals. Time only moves. Truth heals. And work heals. When we forget who we are, small blows feel fatal. When we freeze, pain grows. My way is different. It is simple, hard, and freeing. I do not ask life to be kind. I make you strong. You will see yourself as the ocean, not the wave. Then you will take one clean step that turns heat into strength. Here is how we will move today. First, I will show you truth one, how to stand where fear cannot lead you. Next, truth two, how to turn hurt into power with one clear act and a free heart. Then, I will give you 1 minute tools you can use under fire. I will name 4 traps that cut your strength and how to step past them. At the end, I will share a short story from my road that proves this works in real life. Stay to the end because I will point you to the next lesson that makes your mind steady in chaos. There is one counterintuitive move there that most people miss, and it changes everything. You heard me in the opening. Nothing in you is broken. Now I will make that living and simple. Here is something most people miss when trouble comes. They try to argue with the noise in the mind. They chase one thought, then another, and the waves only rise higher. I do the opposite. I change where I stand inside. Picture this with me. Rain is falling, wind is loud, clouds roll fast. One person runs from cloud to cloud and grows more afraid. Another person steps under a strong roof and watches. Same rain. Very different day. The roof is the witness in you. When I say I am not this storm, I do not deny the rain. I just refuse to call the rain me. Let us test this right now. Take one slow breath in. Let it go. On the exhale, say softly Om, or if that is not your way, just say, I notice. A thought appears about money, about love, about shame. Do not fight it. Do not hold it. See it as a wave. Say in your heart, wave. Then say, I am the ocean. Feel how the room grows wider by one small step. This is not poetry. This is a place to stand. The ocean holds every wave. The wave never becomes the ocean. You are that deep, steady base. When you stand there, panic loses its leader. Now watch how the mind settles when it rests in that base. I use a picture from old teaching. A lamp in a windless place. When there is no gust, the flame does not flicker. Your mind can be that lamp. Life will blow, yes. But you can build a windless spot inside by returning to the witness again and again. The scene will keep changing. Joy rises, fear rises, plans rise, doubts rise. This is the moving show. But the seer, the one who looks, remains. So I train myself to check many times a day what is changing right now. and who is seeing it? The answer brings me home. I am not the changing scene, I am the seer. You may say the wave still hurts. Yes, pain can touch the surface. I will not lie. But I will not crown it king. I stand up inside and speak a clear word to myself. I am pure, I am free, I am strong. I say it when I feel weak. I say it when I do not believe it yet. I say it because it is true at the root. And as I say it, the fear shrinks a little. The spine returns. The voice steadies. From there, I can choose my next act. Let me give you 2 quick ways to hold this stance in daily life. First, the sky practice. Step outside or look through a window. Find one cloud. Watch it move. Whisper, cloud moves, sky stays, thoughts move, I stay. Do that for 3 breaths. Feel the shift. Second, the breath and name. When the rush hits, place your hand near the nose or the chest. 1 breath in, 1 breath out with a soft om or even a slow On the next breath, name what you notice. Tight jaw, wave. Quick heart, wave. Scary story, wave. Then end with, I am the ocean. Now, act from there. I lived this before I taught it. When I reached a new land with no bed and no name, many waves rose. Hunger, cold, doubt. If I had taken each wave as myself, I would have broken. I stood as the witness. Even if only for 1 breath at a time, I watched the fear. I did not feed it. I did the next small duty. Help came. The doors opened later. But freedom began first when I stood in the self and not in the storm. So remember this line and keep it close. I am not the wave, I am the ocean. Say it when the mind gets loud. Say it when the day is dark. Say it when you are fine, so it is ready when you are not. Because once you stand in the right place, the storm cannot push you so far. You can see, you can choose, you can move. And that is where strength is born. Now that you stand in the right place, let us move in the right way. You may say, but the wave still hurts. Yes, pain can touch the surface. I will not lie, but I will not crown it king. I stand up inside and speak a clear word to myself. I am pure, I am free, I am strong. I say it when I feel weak. I say it when I do not believe it yet. I say it because it is true at the root. And as I say it, the fear shrinks a little. The spine returns. The voice steadies. From there, I can choose my next act. Let me give you 2 quick ways to hold this stance in daily life. First, the sky practice. Step outside or look through a window. Find 1 cloud. Watch it move. Whisper, cloud moves, sky stays, thoughts move, I stay. Do that for 3 breaths. Feel the shift. Second, the breath and name. When the rush hits, place your hand near the nose or the chest. 1 breath in. 1 breath out with a soft om or even a slow On the next breath, name what you notice. Tight jaw wave, quick heart wave, scary story wave. Then end with, I am the ocean. Now act from there. I lived this before I taught it. When I reached a new land with no bed and no name, many waves rose hunger, cold, doubt. If I had taken each wave as myself, I would have broken. I stood as the witness, even if only for 1 breath at a time. I watched the fear. I did not feed it. I did the next small duty, help came. The doors opened later, but freedom began first when I stood in the self and not in the storm. So remember this line and keep it close. I am not the wave, I am the ocean. Say it when the mind gets loud. Say it when the day is dark. Say it when you are fine, so it is ready when you are not. Because once you stand in the right place, the storm cannot push you so far. You can see, you can choose, you can move. And that is where strength is born. Beat. Now that you stand in the right place, let us move in the right way. What I am about to share may feel simple, and that is why it works. Most people wait for a good mood before they move. They wait for the perfect plan, the perfect feeling, the perfect sign. Waiting makes the wave bigger. Here is the turn. Right action done now without clinging turns hurt into strength. This is Karma Yoga in plain life. Act, serve, let go. Let me show you why this matters. If you get this wrong, you can spend days thinking about your pain and never cut its weight. The mind spins stories, the body grows heavy, and you feel smaller each hour. But when you take one clean action, even a tiny one, something shifts. The heart warms, the fog thins. You feel your will return, and the next step becomes clear. One act breaks 10 thoughts. So what do? I do the next duty. Tiny, clear, near, not the whole mountain. One stone, wash the cup, write the email, walk for 5 minutes, open the window and let the light in. Do it now. Mark it done. This trains the mind to follow you, not drag you. It also gives you proof. I can move, even when I do not feel like moving. That proof is gold. Then I add service, because service dissolves sorrow. Pain makes us curl in. Service makes us open. Help one person today. Send one kind message. Share a meal. Listen without fixing. When you lift another, your own heart rises. The world outside changes a little, yes, but the world inside changes a lot. The shell cracks, fresh air comes in. While I act and serve, I practice non-attachment. I do the work with full heart, but I do not chain myself to the fruit. I plant the seed, I let the tree grow in its time. If I cling to results, my peace hangs on a thread. Likes, praise, wins, speed. If I let the fruit go, my peace stays with me, and my power grows. This is not laziness. This is highest discipline. Give yourself wholly to the act. Release the outcome. Try it for one day and watch the relief it brings. And remember this, energy follows action, not the other way around. If you wait for energy, you wait long. When you move first, energy wakes up and comes to help. Think of a blacksmith. The iron is hard, so is life. But with fire and hammer, shape appears. Your action is the hammer. Your courage is the fire. Strike once. Then again, soon the thing that hurt you becomes the very thing that made you strong. Let me ground it with a simple picture. You hold a seed in your hand. It looks small, dry, almost nothing. But you do not shout at it to become a tree. You place it in the soil. You water it. You give it Sunday. Then you wait without fear. That is your day now. Plant the seed of one clear action. Water it with service. Give it the sun of non-attachment. Let it grow in its time. Your work was real. Your heart stayed clean. Your strength rose. So here is your pattern for today. One next duty, one act of service, one letting go. Do all three before you sleep. If the mind protests, smile and do them anyway. If the day is heavy, keep them even smaller. 2 minutes to tidy a corner. One kind message, one slow breath while you release the result. This is how hurt turns into power in real life, not in a book, not in a temple, right where you stand. Truth seen, work begun. Now, how do we use this when the mind is loud and time is short? In the next part, I will give you fast tools you can grab in 1 minute, even in the middle of the storm. So you do not just know these truths, you can use them under fire. When the hit lands, you do not have time for big words or long plans or heavy books. You need something small and strong that you can hold in one hand while the other hand wipes your eyes. You need a rope you can grab in the dark without looking. So come close and let me put this rope in your palm and close your fingers around it. Because when life shouts at you and the heart runs and the breath turns thin, the mind will try to bargain and explain and defend, and all of that only feeds the wave. So instead we move with something clear and simple and fast. We move with a rhythm that any person can use in any place. At a bus stop, in a kitchen, at a desk, on a hospital floor. And the rhythm is this: witness, then duty, then service, again and again, not as three ideas, but as one motion, like inhale and exhale and step. A living loop that cuts panic and returns your power in less than a minute, so you can stand as the ocean and act as a hero in your own small day. First, we take the witness, because without the witness, the storm owns your name, and I want your name back. So right where you are, you let the body be still for a moment, and you touch the breath at the nose or at the chest, and you say in a soft voice inside, I notice. And then you let your attention land on three things in the body, and you name them as if you were a kind reporter telling the truth without drama. Warm cheeks, tight jaw, heavy legs. Then you listen and name three sounds: a car outside, a page turning, a bird far away. And then you look at the mind and name three thoughts. I cannot do this. This is too much. I want to hide. And after you name them, you say, I am the witness. And you let the words sink. And in that tiny moment, you feel a small space open where there was no space. A little quiet under the noise. And that quiet is your roof in the rain. And it is enough to take the next step. Do not chase more quiet than that. You only need a coin of quiet to buy your next act. Now we use that coin to pay for one clear duty. Not 10, not 5. Just one thing you can finish in 5 minutes or less. Because action is medicine and the dose must be right for the body you have today. So you look at the room of your life and you pick the nearest stone, wash the cup, send the reply, fold 2 shirts, open a window, and let the light touch your face. And you do it now, and you finish it, and you mark it. Done, with a small nod to yourself. Yes, done. And you do not judge the size, because the point is not to win a prize. The point is to teach the mind who leads. And in that short act, you feel a tiny heat rise in the chest. And that heat is will. And when will wakes up, it calls its friend clarity, and clarity brings you the next small step without force. Then we close the loop with service, because pain makes the heart small, and service makes it wide, and a wide heart can hold the storm without breaking. So you do one kind thing that costs you almost nothing and pays you back in light. Send a clean word to a friend who hurts, carry a bag up the stairs for a neighbor, share food with someone who moves through the day unseen, or simply listen for 2 minutes without fixing. And when you do this, you feel the shell crack and a fresh wind move in. And the world outside may not change much in that instant, but the world inside changes at once. And you suddenly remember you are not alone here. None of us is. And that memory is strength. Put these 3 moves together, and you have an emergency rope you can throw to yourself any time the waters rise. Witness, then duty, then service. It takes 1 minute to start, and after that minute, the inside of your day has a new shape. And if you are thinking, I am too busy for this, I hear you, and I will not argue with your schedule, but I will ask you a gentle question. Are you too busy to breathe? Because this is breathing for the soul. And if you say the pain is too sharp for this, I will say take half a minute then. Say, I notice once, name one feeling, do one tiny task, send one kind word, even a silent blessing as you pass a stranger, and you will see the edge soften a little, and a little is enough to keep you from falling hard. I will tell you a small story without names. A worker I met had a day that kept breaking, first a loss at home, and then a loss at work. The mind ran wild and the hands shook, and he said, I cannot think. And I said, good. Do not think, notice the breath, and name 3 things. He did it, and his shoulders dropped. And I said, choose one duty you can finish in 5 minutes. He cleaned his desk corner, and it looked like nothing, but it felt like ground. Then he sent a kind message to a friend who was sick, service done. And he said, I still feel sad. And I said, yes, of course, sadness is not the enemy. Drowning is the enemy. And you are not drowning now. You are standing. And from that day, he kept the rope in his pocket. Witness duty service, and grief still came in waves, but it did not own his next step. Remember this as you move through the rest of today. The mind will ask for a perfect mood before it moves, but that is a trap. Mood follows motion, peace follows right work, not the other way around. So even if your hands are cold and your mouth is dry and your head is noisy, you can still do one breath and one act and one kindness. And after you do them, the day will open one finger wider, and that is enough to get to the next bend in the road, where more light waits. And if you forget tomorrow, you will remember the day after. And if you forget again, I will remind you again. Because this is the simple way through the storm. Stand as the witness, move in one small duty, widen through one small service, and repeat until the sea is calm, or until you do not mind that it is not. 3 ropes in your hand now, and they are strong. Yet there are sharp edges in life that can cut ropes if you are not watchful. Small errors that look harmless but make great pain if you let them live. So stay with me as we turn and look at the common traps and how to step past them before they steal your will and your peace. Because what I will show you next is short and clear, and it will save you many hours of struggle later. There are small mistakes that look soft and harmless when you are tired, but they have sharp teeth, and if you are not watchful, they bite your rope, they pull you back into the storm. So come close, and let me name them plain and simple so you can see them before they see you. Because once you see them, they lose half their power, and when you know the turn to make, they lose the rest. The first trap is the voice that says, why me? It sounds like truth and it sounds like self-care, but it is a hole in the floor, because why me does not move the day forward. It only makes a circle in the dust. So I switch the line at once and I ask, what now? I do not argue with fate. I make my next step, and in that turn, from why to what, I take back the keys to my life. The second trap is isolation. Pain tells you to hide and says you are safer alone, but hiding makes the fear grow and the room shrink, and soon the mind believes anything it says. So I break the spell with one reach, one call, one walk with a friend, even 10 minutes of honest talk in the sun, because a little light shared between 2 hearts burns brighter than a big light trapped inside one. The third trap is the long scroll that never ends, a river of noise that steals your will 1 drop at a time. So I set a small rule that protects my strength without asking for heroics. The first 10 minutes of the day belong to silence, and the last 10 minutes belong to silence. No glowing screen, no flood of other minds in my mind, just breath and a clear word and a simple act like making my bed or pouring water, and this alone can change the shape of a week. The fourth trap is outcome fever, when the mind grabs the fruit and will not let go, counting and comparing and begging the world to clap, and with that grip, your peace hangs by a thin string that any wind can cut. So I return to my clean work. I do the next duty with full heart, and I let the fruit ripen in its time, and I remind myself I plant the seed. The season is not mine, the soil is not mine, the sun is not mine. My work is mine, and that is enough. And once these four traps are seen, and these four turns are made, your rope stays whole and your steps stay free, and you do not waste your little coins of energy on holes in the ground. You spend them on life. I will give you a short piece from my own road, because teachings are fine and bright, but the heart believes a path when it hears the dirt under the foot and the wind on the face. So listen. I came to a new land with little in my pocket and nothing in my name. The nights were cold and the rooms were spare, and some days the stomach ached, and some days the mind did too. And there were hours when the wave of doubt rose high and tried to tell me I was small and lost and far from every good thing, and yet even then I stood inside as the witness and said, I am not this storm. I watched the fear come and go. I would not crown it king. I did the next duty, even when it was small and humble. I wrote the words I could write. I spoke when it was time to speak. I served the hands that reached for help, and I let the fruit go, because fruit belongs to time and to God, and not to my worry. And I saw how kindness arrived when I kept my center. Strangers opened their doors and brought bread and warmth and friendship, and slowly the doors that looked like walls began to shift, and the room that felt like a prison became a hall, and in that hall a new life began. And I tell you this not to make a legend, but to put strength in your hand, because the same two truths held me then, and they will hold you now. Stand as the ocean, and act without clinging, and though the night may be long, it cannot swallow a soul that refuses to drown. And when the morning comes, it will find you on your feet, ready, steady, simple, strong. Now we will close with a clear charge, so you remember and you rise. And I will place in your mouth a short line you can carry all week, and a path to follow for 7 days that will make these truths your own. We have come through the storm together, and I want you to leave with light in your hand, so listen close. As I gather the heart of this whole talk into one clear line you can carry all week. You are not the storm, you are the self, whole and free and bright, and when pain comes, you do not wait for a kinder sky. You work the pain into power through clean action. You take one breath and you claim the witness. You do the next duty that is tiny and near. You serve one soul without asking for a prize. And you let the fruit go because your peace lives with you and not in the world's hands. This is the path that does not shake when the wind blows. This is the simple strength that any person can use in any place. And I want you to feel how strong you are right now. Even if life is heavy, even if your hands are tired, there is a deep floor under you, and you can stand on it today. Now take this as your 7-day charge every time stress rises. You will run the rope once, witness then duty, then service. Even if it is half-sized, even if it is clumsy, you will still do it. And you will mark it each day in a small notebook or in the notes on your phone with a simple check. Do not chase perfect, chase honest effort. And if you forget at noon, begin at 1. If you forget at night, begin in the morning, and say with me now, so it sinks into the bones, I am not broken. I am the self. I act with courage. I let go. Say it again in a low, steady voice, and let the words wash the room inside your chest. Because words shape will, and will shapes days, and days shape life. And I want your life to stand straight and shine. Before you go, I have a next step that will make this even stronger. What if you could hold your mind steady even in noise and rush and doubt? What if thoughts obeyed you like good tools in a craftsman's hands? In my next video, I will show 5 simple ways to train the mind so it stays with you and does not run away. I will give you moves you can use in minutes, and you will feel the change the same day. If these 2 truths helped you, then the next lesson will multiply their power many times. So click to watch 5 most powerful ways to control the mind, and we will keep building your strength together. I will meet you there, and we will go deeper. For now, carry your rope, take your breath, do your one small act, give one small kindness, and walk on with a quiet spine and a warm heart.